Too many people are walking around here like they're coming back.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna come back. What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Mindset Podcast. My name is Anthony Valenzuela, alongside Gabriel Russo. Today, we will be discussing the topic of legacy.
That's right, and we couldn't help but talk about legacy without mentioning the name Kobe Bryant, and it's with a heavy heart that we talk about Kobe Bryant. We just heard about his tragic passing this weekend. You might be listening or watching this in a later day, but he was such an icon, not only to the basketball world, but the world in general. He left such an impact, such a mark. For me personally, he was definitely one of the pioneers that led me into the game of basketball. Without him, I might not even have ever played basketball. And with that being said, we're just going to touch upon some points. And one of my favorite Kobe Bryant quotes is, "I can't relate to lazy people. We don't speak the same language. I don't understand you, and I don't want to understand you." That just goes to show that he was on a completely different level, completely different mindset, mentality, the Mamba mentality that we always talk about. And he was just so different from everyone. You know?
Absolutely, man. And look, leaving a legacy is the ultimate level of success. That's what Kobe Bryant accomplished with being only 41 years old. He has so much more to live, but it's true that there's so many different things that we can associate with success, and that are rightly so, right? Like starting a business, getting accepted into a dream school. Those are all levels of success and great ones. But the ultimate level of success is leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than that, right? It's that shift in mindset. I want all of you who are listening today, instead of saying I want to be successful, I want to succeed, now I want you to say I want to leave a legacy.
That's right.
It's so much deeper than just saying I want to be successful. A lot of people can be successful, and there's different levels to it. But by saying you want to leave a legacy, that's completely different level kind of stuff.
I think when I think about that, I think the biggest difference of leaving a legacy and being successful, when you're successful, you're talking about yourself. Mm-hmm. You're talking about your business, your company, maybe even your family. When you leave a legacy, it's not about you. It's about the people that you touch, about the lives that you impact, and the mark that you leave on this planet years after you're gone. You know, what are they going to be saying about you? You know?
Exactly, man. Like you said, putting a legacy is putting a stamp on the future. Yeah. It's about making a contribution to the future generations, to your kids. How will they remember Gabriel Russo?
Yeah.
How are they going to remember your name, right? And this is a very brutal quote that I'm about to say here, but it's very true. And it's, leaving a legacy is if your life mattered. Means if your life mattered. Leaving a legacy means that your life mattered. Right, it sounds a little harsh, but it's so true. Mm-hmm. If people are talking about you 10, 20 years from now after you died, man, you definitely did something right while you were here on Earth.
Exactly. And again, it's not about the dollars. It's not about what's in your bank account. It's not how much your company's worth. Because once you die, your company's going to die with it. You know, again, it's just what you do on this planet to reach as many people as you can. And once you realize that it's not about you and it's about everyone else, that's when that shift in mindset that you're talking about really occurs. Mm-hmm. And just to ask you, Anthony, I know we're far from leaving a legacy, you know, of being successful. We're on that journey, day in and day out. But if you had to leave someone with, you know, some advice about leaving a legacy or just getting on that path to leaving a legacy, what would it be?
Man, I mean, there's so much advice that I can think of right now to give, but the best one that I think about constantly is, you're going to die. I don't know if anybody has ever told you that, but you're going to die. You're not going to be here every single day. Yeah. One day is going to be the last day of your life, right? And I think about that, and it gives me a sense of urgency to do something with my life, right? Too many people are walking around here like they're coming back. Yeah. Like, you're not going to come back, right? I feel like our generation needs a boost of energy, of hunger, of pride. Take pride in you. Mm-hmm. Take pride in you. Be authentic, but think about it. Every day you have to be doing something that adds to your greatness, to your legacy.
I think that's so appropriate. Unfortunately, we lost Kobe very young, but he had so much to give. I experienced him 20 years of my life, and that's exactly what you're saying. I mean, we don't know when our last breath is going to be. You know, we have to take advantage of every second that we have on this earth. And I think Kobe is a testament to that. I mean, again, not only an NBA icon, but such a world icon with everything that he was doing with his charities, his foundations, his storytelling. He was about to do movie making. He was in so much. And that he's such a perfect example of what we're talking about, because we never know when our last day is going to be. And if you need to ask yourself, if I died tomorrow, is what I've been doing until now, was it worth it? Have I touched as many people as I would like to? Am I going to make a difference when I'm gone, or are people just going to forget about me?
Absolutely, man. That's the best way to check if you're on the right path, right? Is if, like, exactly what you said. Think about it. If I die right now, will I be happy with the life I've lived so far? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right path. You're doing what you need to do. If the answer is, well, maybe, I don't know, I'll be happy. Well, then that gives you a sense of urgency now to live every day after that with a purpose. Like, live with a purpose. You know, you're going to die. Think about that. You're going to die.
Yeah. And with that being said, I mean, I feel like a lot of people think that they've made it, and then they kind of relax a little bit. That mindset of, oh, I've made it, I've gotten to where I want to get to, is so dangerous. It's so toxic, because once you get there, there's always going to be room for improvement. Once you tell yourself, oh, I've made it, and you just kick back and relax, that's it, you've lost. Kobe, again, I can't help but go back to him, because he was such a perfect example, because he never took a day off. He always recognized that there was always someone better than him, and there's always room for improvement and, you know, time to get better. You know, if it sacrificed him getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep, you know damn well he did it.
Absolutely.
Because that's what needed to be done.
Absolutely. Great points there, Gabe. Really good points. And also, I'd just like to add, and what I've observed is, and tell me if I'm wrong, our generation, our kind of this age group, 19, 20, 21, they're all thinking instant gratification. And we're guilty. I'm guilty of that, of thinking that. So I'm not saying I haven't. There's been some times where my mindset was instant gratification, and I quickly had to shift. I noticed that I was in a dangerous mindset. I had a dangerous mentality. But look, I just want to make one thing very clear. The way to leave a legacy is to think long term.
Yeah.
Life is a marathon. Life is a marathon. Life is not accumulated sprints. It's not. It's not instant gratification. It's not what I can get a high on for a couple days. It's not. Life is a long-term game. It's every day added. Every day is added until boom, it's your last day. That's what creates your legacy. And let me say one very important thing. Your legacy starts by how you treat people, right? Everybody always remembers how you made them feel, right? We know that because we're in business. But this applies to everything in general, to people you don't know, to people in your school and work. The legacy starts by how you treat people. If you treat everybody right and you're an honest person, people will start to follow you and think highly of you. That's the beginning of leaving a legacy. Until all those people add up to millions and millions of people. Yeah. That's how I define legacy.
It's the little things, man. Like, I've always been taught to treat the CEO the same as I treat the janitor. You know, it's the little things. If you just, we all have these titles, you know, these big recognitions from everyone in the society gives us, but I like what you said there, just kindness. Kindness is everything. You know, what lasting impression are you going to leave on them? Whether it's your first impression or your last impression. Yeah,
absolutely. And look, I had a perfect example. One of my friends from the Honors College, good friend of mine, he asked me the other day, he's like, look, Anthony, I want to start a fitness page. And he was telling me all the great ideas that he had and how he wants to blow it up, taking videos and having guests on his show, working out with big time people. And I'm like, dude, this is a great idea. It's competitive as hell, right? The fitness world, but you can definitely do it. He's like, yeah, I want to do it. The one thing I told him, and I made an emphasis on this, is, look, man, you have a bunch of great ideas right now in your head. You're thinking a lot, and they're all great ideas. The difference between you and someone average that thinks the same thoughts is execution. Yeah. Who's gonna execute on those ideas, right? And that is the beginning of a legacy. It goes from your mind to paper. Boom, 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 boom. That's what builds a legacy. So I was listening to a video not too long ago that said there was a man talking to a child, and the man asked the child, he says, where do you think is the wealthiest place on earth? and the child's like, oh, I don't know, Dubai, a bank, something like that. Right here, he put wealth and currency together, and he was thinking of places like that. And the man's like, no, it's not Dubai, it's not the bank. The wealthiest place on earth is a cemetery,
Wow.
right? Obviously where everybody's buried. And the child's confused. What do you mean the cemetery? It's just dead people. And the man says, no, it's the wealthiest place on earth because there's so many people that die with their dreams. $1 million dreams, $1 million idea that are now dead and buried with the people.
Yeah.
Right? And I heard that. I'm like,
Wow.
wow, that is so true, man.
Yeah.
So many people die with their dreams and ideas. And it could have been the next Amazon, the next Uber.
Yeah.
Is in the graveyard.
You'll never regret failing, but you definitely will regret not trying.
Yeah, and I think if you think if you make that shift in mindset from I want to be successful to I want to leave a legacy, you can accomplish those things. It's a sense of urgency that builds up in you.
Yeah, your behavior just changes.
Absolutely.
Your actions change, your personality change, your characteristics change. Leaving a legacy is the ultimate goal of success. Just like you said, everyone has their different levels of success, and for some people, it might be reaching the world. For others, it might just be reaching your kids.